Okay. Orin, yung umpires out, you know? Orin! Mas lang mo na sa TV. Ano yung umpire mo pa ng team?
Bra. All right, so welcome to the St. Elizabeth Technical Sports Complex. Day 2, Headley Cup Final 2025. Manchester all out for 117. The Steths team, they are 157 for 4 with Odain Bins. With Odain Bins on 70, Ryan Lickerton on 5 are the knockout batsmen. Day 2. Every time. Day 2. Headley Cup Finals 2025. Live from the St. Elizabeth Technical Sports Complex. Thank you for joining us as the great man arrive. Sir Ainsley Clark.
Where you go?
When you're ready, Ross. No, man, that can't. You have to go microwave it up.
Last night.
One more space. Good.
Good morning. I spoke to you this morning. Good morning, Mr. Barnes. Woo!
I'm secure in the coffee.
I spoke to you this morning. A very good morning to you and welcome back to St. Elizabeth Technical High School in Santa Cruz. This is day 2 of Headley Cup final between Manchester High School and St. Elizabeth Technical High School. Yesterday's play saw Manchester being bowled out for 117 and Steths in reply 157 for 4 with the not out batters being Omar Bins on 70 and Brown on that's Littleton. Sorry, Littleton on 5. So Ward will pick up this morning from the pavilion end and he will bowling to Odin Bins. Bins on 70. He sort of gives Steths a solid foundation. Here comes Ward, passes the umpire and bowls, and Bins is just coming forward, pushing that back down on the right hand side of the pitch, and Ward picks up no run. 157 overnight. Steths, they are wanting now to give Manchester a big total to chase in their second innings. I'm hoping that they will have just a few, if any, to chase with their turn at bat in the second innings.
And welcome to day 2 of the Headley Cup Final 2025.
The Ward again to Bins and Bins is on the back
the
foot playing
Manchester
that
team
back
were
on the pitch
all
to the
out
bowler.
for 117.
No run.
The Steths team, they are 157 for 4. Odain Bins and 40 on 70, sorry. and Ryan Littleton on 5. So day 2 of the Headley Cup Finals 2025.
Ward again to bowl to Binns. And Binns is driving that down on the onside. It goes on to long on, and they go through for an easy single. First run of the morning. Steths now on 158. Littleton to face now. From yesterday I've been getting them mixed up. Yes, Littleton is indeed under the red helmet, while Binns is in the dark colored helmet. Here comes Ward now. Bowles and Binns is playing that into the offside, into the extra cover region, and no run. Ward. Binns. Binns is playing and missing outside the off stump. There's a stifled appeal that the keeper takes. No run, the end of the over, the first over of the morning. And Steths, they are on 158 for 4, being 157 for 4 overnight. Let me see now who will continue the attack from the main road end. And that looks like Rashawn Akiwak McKenzie, the lanky pace bowler, who's been getting some movement, and strangely he has not troubled the batters in this game. In the quarterfinal game played on this same pitch, he gave the Steths batsmen or the batters no end of trouble. But the pitch seemed to be a different one in terms of how it is playing today. It is slower than that quarterfinal game.
Yeah.
Let us see if he can extract anything from it this morning as he begins his run. Passes the ump on the bowl. So Littleton is playing that off his pad into the square leg region, just in front of the square leg umpire, and they go through for an easy single. 159 now for 4. Binns, who has been the anchor of the Steths innings, to face McKenzie. Passes the umpire, bowls, and Binns is just easily on the front foot, playing that into the short mid-wicket area. Ball relayed to the wicket keeper, who passes it back to the man, a short mid-wicket, who will now relay it to McKenzie.
Yes, sir.
McKenzie to Binns, who has not scored since morning, and he plays that into the cover region. They go through for the quick single. The return comes in. The keeper didn't collect, but the man at square leg was able to do so. Takes his score now up to 71, just adding this one run from overnight. Littleton trying to build his inning here. He didn't do much in that T20 game against Manchester, and he's flicking at that down the leg side. The appeal goes up. The umpire is not agreeing with them. It would appear that he conferred with the man at square leg, but it is still not out. A confident appeal for one going down the leg side, and Littleton was flicking at it, but apparently he got no touch. So he's still there to continue his innings. Mackenzie again, trying to dislodge Littleton. Delivers. Littleton is just playing that down on the onside easily. The man in the mid-on area picks up, doing some work on the ball to maintain the shine. Tosses it back to the man at long off, who will now give it to Mackenzie to start his run up the incline again. 160. 160 for 4. Mackenzie bowls outside the off stump, and Littleton is just watching that go through. It's the end of the over. Stetson 160 for 4. 157 overnight for the same four. Added just 3 runs today in the third over. 3 overs bowled so far, as Ward will continue from the pavilion end. He's bowling his leg breaks. I'm not sure he has the googly. But we shall see. I think he has bowled it probably 4 times in this inning so far, but mostly the leg breaks.
Yeah.
Bins to face. Pitching up is Ward outside the off stump. Bins going forward and just leaving that alone. Good delivery from Ward. Here he comes again. Tossing it up, and Bins going forward, playing that into the extra cover area. Picked up by the fielder, who tosses the ball back toward no run. Another delivery from Ward, and outside the off stump, Bins is just pushing the left pad out there. There was an appeal. The umpire didn't answer that. Ward again. Forward goes Bins, missing. Signal between the umpires to indicate the number of deliveries to go in this over. 2 to go. Here comes Ward with his 5th delivery. Short, and Bins is banging that down the ground. He shaped as if that was going through mid-wicket, but down the ground to long on, and he got only a single. 161. Littleton, final delivery from Ward in this over, short, and he's just pushing it down into the offside. No run. At the end of the over, you can announce the score for the another. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see how many overs bowled since morning. Hmm?
4 overs.
Mackenzie will continue from the main road end. This is the 4th over. He'll be bowling the 4th over for the day. And he'll be bowling to Bins. Binns is on 71. His overnight score was 70. Here comes Mackenzie now. Running in. Jumps, delivers. Binns is flicking at that down the leg side. Missing it. The keeper collects, but not too cleanly. No run. Bright and sunny day in Santa Cruz. I think for the first session of play, the heat will be on. From the environment, that is, probably not from the players on the field. As Mackenzie runs in, delivers, and the Binns is pushing that down into the offside. They go through for a quick single. They get it in the end quite comfortably. One more to the score. 162. This brings Littleton
We can't give one this
to
man. We
face.
can't give one this or skip man. We can't give an easy one this man.
You can hear in the microphone the assistant coach saying that that was too easy a run. Mackenzie again. Outside the off stump, no shot being offered. There's an appeal. The umpire looks at his counter. And the question is, why were they appealing? Well, we are not out on the pitch. We are at probably a third man position in the pavilion. We are not directly behind the bowlers. So we are not able to see why they're appealing and what they're appealing for. I guess it's just to remind the batters that they are on the field and they are facing Mackenzie, who runs away now. Delivers and that is driven in the air by Littleton. Oh my goodness, a soft dismissal. That was just pushed high in the air into the covers and easily taken. So Littleton is back on his way to the pavilion, caught off the bowling of Mackenzie for just checking his score.
7.
So Littleton actually made 7. That was a soft dismissal. He was not sure whether he wanted to just play it easily or to hit it over the covers. He did neither, and he was caught.
162 for 5. Ryan Littleton caught at cover for 7. So Steths 162 for 5.
Too easy a dismissal. That similarly, he was out to an easy dismissal in the T20 game on Monday at Manchester. I think it was the first delivery he faced. He played it straight into the hand of mid-wicket and went back to the pavilion without troubling the score. Well, today he was able to make 7. But he batted long enough with Binns to stabilize the middle order because based on what has happened over a couple of games, Steths' middle order has been quite brittle. And I think it's because they've not been getting enough batting in the preliminary games. They had a tendency of putting in a team first and bowling that team out for a very paltry sum, and then they wouldn't have to bat long to make it. Another delivery from Mackenzie outside the off stump. Jaleel Smith just looked at it going by and no run. End of that over, end of the Mackenzie over, successful over in which he got the wicket of Littleton for 7. So Steths now they're losing their 5th wicket. And it's 162 for 5. 5 runs being scored this morning for the loss of Littleton's wicket for 7.
Much overland. 48, 9. 48 for overs, but it's a 49.
This is the 5th over of the morning. Warder to continue. And that was played easily into the offside by Binns. No run coming from that. Ward getting through his overs quite quickly. Here he comes again. Tossing it up, and no shot offered by Binns. This is unbelievable. Could have been the googly. Thought it was going away from him, but it came back. The umpire, a judge that it would have hit the stumps. So Binns LBW to Ward, offering absolutely no stroke. And he's out for 73, but let me confirm that. 73 indeed. I was wondering whether Ward was bowling the googly, but he answered this morning because I am thinking that that is the one that got Littleton. He thought it was going outside the off stump, going away from him. Offered absolutely no shot. The umpire had no option but to raise the deadly finger. So the score is 162 for 5. 2 wickets going down this morning. 5 runs.
Score later 162 or 6.
The next batsman or the batter, Jerome Taylor, son of the legendary fast bowler. So he should be junior then. Jerome Taylor Jr. His father played for Steths and he made the West Indies Test team when he was still a student here at Steths. And Jerome Taylor Sr. will want to tell you that he is an accomplished batsman because he has 100 to his name against Australia. The only thing, this Jerome Taylor Jr., he's left-handed. His father is right-handed, a right-handed batter.
162 for 6. 162.
162 for 6. Ward, no. To Jerome Taylor Jr. Shorten is on the back foot, just putting that into the square leg region. And no run. So it is Smith and Taylor. You can guess their profession if they're not cricketers. Taylor and Smith. Ward again, pushing that up, and Taylor is playing that down to mid-off. They go through for a quick single. Return comes in over the head of the keeper. Wasn't able to take it, but no overthrows. So can Smith and Taylor establish a firm producing runs? We all will see. Smith, the right-hander, is going to be facing Ward. Ward is pushing somebody almost on the mid-wicket boundary. The long on is gone back. Here he comes now. Bowls to Smith. There's a shot at the stump because Taylor was out of his ground, but luckily backed up by the man at point. Oh, backed up by the man at mid-wicket. That was the left-hander batting. Here he comes, tossing it up and is driving into the mid-on area, end of the over. 163 for 6. Steths probably was hoping that they could have given Manchester a lead of about 100 this morning and try and go through the the Manchester batting in their second innings, so that the target for them would have been much easier. But Manchester is always fighting, not giving up. They are the defending champions, so it is expected that they'll fight to the bitter end. Mackenzie will continue from the main road end, and he's going to be bowling to Jerome Taylor Jr. Let me see the field I have for Jerome. A slip, a gully, a point, deep cover. Here comes Mackenzie. And oh, that one kept low. Taylor was on the back foot. He missed it all. The keeper missed it as well. And it ricocheted off his pad into a short fine leg region, and they were able to take a single. 164 for 6.
Have you linked it? Yeah, something that's in it.
Mackenzie to Smith. Smith is just going forward, pushing that down the pitch. The bowler picks up. No run. Mackenzie passes the umpire, bowls, and that is pushed into the gully by Smith. No run. Bright sunshine here at Steths in Santa Cruz. Good day for cricket. Second day of this Headley Cup final between the Steths and Manchester. Here comes Mackenzie. Bowls, and that is driven. It bounces up to Mackenzie, who didn't hold on to it. Had he taken it, probably he would have heard people appealing, but it would have been a spectator's catch. So the score remains on 164 for 6. Steths losing 2 quick wickets this morning. Here comes Mackenzie again. Just pushing that down the pitch back to the bowler is Smith. Score is not troubled. So the 2 overnight batters departed in quick succession this morning. Mackenzie again running away. Bowls, and that is driven into the covers. Cannot get past it. The fielder. End of the over. 164 for 6. So Jerome Taylor will be facing Ward. There's one slip Point, cover. There's a mid wicket. Short, one on the boundary as well. Ward comes in, bows, and is tossing that up and it's driving it. Goes through the man at mid off, and it's racing down to the boundary. Will he be able to pick it up before it gets there? He does. 2 runs. That was a lovely shot played by Jerome Taylor Jr., but the fielder at cover allowed it to go through him. Sloppy fielding indeed. Ward again to Taylor. And that was a high full toss. And it just pushed it off into the covers, and they were able to get an easy single. 167 for 6. Taylor now moves up to 4. That's Jerome Taylor Jr. Smith will face right arm leg spin and googly bowler in Ward from the pavilion end. Ward passes the umpire. Oh my goodness, that looked like a chance. It was pushed casually, and the man in the gully reached up, got a hand to it, couldn't hold on to it. And Smith must be breathing a sigh of release. Of relief he got to life. That was a lazy shot, and the fielder, a lazy attempt to get to it. Ward to Taylor. Taylor on the back foot, flashing outside the off stump, making no contact. The keeper takes it cleanly, relays it via mid-off to Ward. Ward to continue the job of trying to get Taylor out. Here he comes, delivered, and Taylor is on the back foot, pushing that one down into the gully region. Ward going around the wicket to the left-handed Taylor. But Taylor was equal to that one and just pushed it into the gully. No run accruing. Ward again. Taylor is coming forward, pushing that down into the cover region. No run. It's the end of another Ward over. Let me just check his bowling stats. Ward has so far bowled 13 overs and has taken 2 for 28. 13 overs, 2 for 28. Quite economical. Mackenzie will continue from the main road end. Here comes Mackenzie. Bowling Smith. Smith is just playing that bat down the pitch. Mackenzie picks up in his follow through, and the score is not troubled. 168. 6 wickets down for Steths, replying to 117 all out by Manchester. Mackenzie again to Smith. Oh, he's just comfortably forward, holding the pose, and the bowler picks up. Mackenzie Smith, wayward deliver down the leg side. Keeper didn't collect cleanly though, but the batters weren't able to take a single. I thought you had an extra water in your bag. Yeah, mother. Yeah.
I'm seeing a citizen and I can be no one. I see that. Oh, they could come in. We don't get that if you come in.
Well, nothing wrong with being a senior citizen. It means that you have long life, you know. Mackenzie running away from the main road end and the bowls and Timothy is driving that into the covers, can't get past the man there. There was a hint of excitement, but nothing productive resulting neither from the batter nor the bowler. 168 for 6.
Neil. 1-2.
Mackenzie continuing. Passes jumper, jump delivers outside the off stump. No shot offered, and they're going through for a quick single. Sloppy misfield there by Manchester. The keeper is not looking as good as he did yesterday. He gave away that single, the end of the over, 169 for 6. Stetson replied to Manchester's 117 all out.
How much action, how much not pressure and not stress. Ali, why am I getting a zero? And a sub down. What's that coach? I think that coach there was not pressure.
Cannot understand Manchester.
169 also.
Ward again. And Smith is pushing that into the covers. No intention of seeking a single. Ward again. That has Smith driving, getting a bottom edge, bouncing out to the man in the gully. Can't get past the fielder. No run. Ward again. Tossing it up, and Smith is driving, but Ward is on the way. Picks up quite cleanly. The score remains at 169 for 6. Two quick wickets went down this morning for Steths. Ward bowls and Smith is just easily pushing that into the covers. Smith seems as if he intends to build a partnership with Taylor, Smith and Taylor. Let me see how many runs they can produce for their team Steths. That delivery is driven into the covers. Cannot get past the fielder, no run. Ward again. Short outside the off stump. It's punched into the gully region. Can't get past the fielder. No run. It's the end of the over. And Steths is still on 169 for 6, losing 2 wickets this morning. Brown and Binns, they were the overnight batters. Binns eventually going for 73 and uh, 7 for Brown. Brown didn't add much to his overnight total. So it's now left up to. Oh, that's Ryan Littleton. Sorry about that. Ryan Littleton. It didn't add much or many. Because of that, he went for 7. Baines added only 3 more runs to his overnight score of 70. So it's now up to the firm of Smith and Taylor to steady the ship, to steady a somewhat brittle middle order. But this is a final, and sometimes you have people who've not been performing all season shining through on the big day. So there's a change of bowling from the main road end. Let me see who's coming on. Looks like the Mario Hall. He will be bowling to Smith. Sorry, to Taylor, to Jerome Taylor Jr. And he tried to leave that one. Taylor is running down into the boundary. Will he get there? Yes, it does. 4 byes. The umpire holds up his right hand and he signals now 4 byes. That delivery bounced and Taylor tried to get his bat out of the way. Luckily for him, it did. Went past the keeper and rolled into the boundary. 4 byes.
White door. The metal something around it.
Score goes up to 173 for 6.
And Bombal in the second one, Bombal in the classic, yeah.
So Hall, second delivering his new spell. Bosa Taylor going forward. Pushing that down into the mid-off area. Jerome Taylor Jr. looks as if he has good technique. Will not compare him to his father. His father was a pace bowler. He's a batter. Going back and pushing that down into the cover region. They can't get a single. 173 the score remains on for 6. Forward goes Taylor again, pushing that down the pitch to Demario Hall, who picks up cleanly, goes back to his mark. A short run, because he's a spinner. Comes in again. Taylor defensively forward. End of that, Demario Hall over.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Alright, let me check your overs. 10, 17, 19, 29, 31.
How many came out of Hall's over?
54 over, man. 54 over, boy.
Yeah, 54 over.
54 over. 54 over, boy. I will check it. See, then I book 54. 10 and 7, 17 and 2, 19 and 10, 29, 31 and 9, 40 and 14. 54. See that? Then I book. No, 3, 173. 54.
Ward continuing from the pavilion end. First delivery pushed into the offside. No run coming from it.
19.
No.
19 runs.
54. No, sir.
Ward again tossing that one up, and it is driven into the offside. It goes on to long off, and they go through for an easy single. Thought about the second one, but the return came in quite quickly. Overthrows. This is unbelievable. Very sloppy bowling, and no awareness on the part of the Manchester fielders. One turned into three.
54. 54? Yeah.
It's unbelievable. I'm wondering if the sun and the total is taking toll on the Manchester fielders.
Nothing wrong at 54 over. We have been at the book. We don't miss no over. So if we start out, every two score at 54 over. See, then I book. It can't be.
Is
No,
this a
man.
complete over? What is
No, man. Wait.
this one? This
Oh, wait. It's all right. Hold on.
four deliveries are.
Oh, these just ball it for us. Sorry. Let me check. All right. Yeah.
Full toss, and that's banged two backward square leg. It's running out to the boundary. It gets there now. 4 runs off the bat of Jerome Taylor Jr.
Okay. 180 to 100. Okay. Oh, 10. Is that right? No one ever comes.
So Ward from his 3 deliveries so far in the over has conceded 7 runs. That was a well-timed shot by Jerome Taylor Jr.
Is that it? 15.
Taylor driving down to mid-off again. They go through for the single. Fielder didn't pick up cleanly. Made it much easier.
56. It's at the 56 over.
What happened to this? This complete?
Again. No, this start around over.
Yep.
It's a 56, sir?
1 2.
1
1 2.
So the score goes up to
No, not Smith.
1 2.
4 and 1 2. Taylor.
Smith again. Driving. Coming off the outside of the edge of the bat, going into the mid-wicket region, and they go through for 2 runs. Score goes up to 82 for the loss of 6 wickets by Steths Ward to Smith.
183. Run 2.
So the score is
How much you have?
he has 182.
183. Come out of the over.
Then run 10.
10 come out of the over. And the score before was what? 173.
183 for 6. Steths in reply to Manchester's 117 all out.
Number 55. Score reads 183.
Let me see the
6.
over the. May I come this?
Something like that. How does one board? This one?
Ward just completed his over. So the Mario Hall So Hall again from the main road end. He'll be rolling to Jerome Taylor. Short delivery. Taylor is guiding that down into the gully area. No run coming from that.
Taylor the 9 and Jal the 6.
Taylor on a 9 to face. Pitch up, and he's driving that one into the wide mid wicket area. They get only a single. So Taylor goes up to 10 and the score goes to 184.
Jerome Taylor Jr. on 10 and Jaleel Smith on 6.
So Smith now to face Hall. Short and push into the point region. Gently rolls off to the fielder. Picks up, throws it back to the man at mid-off. It goes to Hall, who will continue to bowl to Smith. And Smith is trying to push that one down to third man. It's a getting out shot. Luckily for him, he didn't get an edge. Keeper collected smartly. Just a slip. Hall. And Smith is driving that along the ground. It goes down to long off, and they go for an easy single. 185 for 6. Field is spread for Smith. There's a mid-off point. A squarish point as well. Hall. Full toss. That swung away well. It would appear as if he missed it and they come back for the second. Let's see if it is runs or buys. Oh, the umpire lifts his right hand to indicate buys. So 2 more to the score. Contributed by the keeper because he let those 2 go by him. 187 for 6. So it's the beginning of a new over. Ward is remarking, are they going to have a change in bowling? It would appear so. So Jones, who completed his overs from the northern end, has switched now to the pavilion end, and he has bowled 10 overs. He took one for 31 yesterday. Let us see how successful he will be today. Still one slip. A gully, a point. Cover, extra cover, mid on, mid off. A man decided to square leg umpire. And a fine leg on the boundary. Jones. In, delivers, and driving outside the off stump is Smith. There's an appeal, but the umpire will have none of it. He will not answer in the affirmative. Manchester really seeking to break this partnership. It's the firm of Smith and Taylor. And they want to drop Anchor in the middle to give Steths a good partnership to boost their total. So Manchester will have much more to chase in their second innings. They're now at 187 for 6. Jones from the pavilion end to Smith. Short, and Smith is flashing outside the off stump, makes no contact. The keeper collects. Ball is relayed via mid-off. Some work being done on the ball. Man halfway to the long off boundary. Jones again. Jumps, delivers. full pitch delivery, and Smith is just behind that one. The umpire signals that it's a no ball. Is it no ball for height or no ball?
Yeah.
It, not sure whether it is no ball for height.
I. Just
Oh, it seems as if it's no ball for height. One more added to the score, 188 for 6. Jones to Smith. Smith is playing forward. There's an appeal as the ball thuds into the pad. The umpire answers in the negative. And Smith gets a chance to continue his fight. Kellen Jones in his 11th over. 3 delivers. The 4th one was a no ball, so he has to bowl it again. Here he comes. Not sure what that hit. Sounded like the bottom of the bat, toe end of the bat. There was an appeal, but not by the bowler, and the umpire decided that it wasn't necessary to raise the finger because that was not out. Jones from the pavilion end to Smith. Appeal again. Smith going forward, not picking up the ball at all. Thuds into the pad, and the bowler went up. Umpire said not out. 188 for 6. Jones. Smith is driving out that missing. Goes on to find leg. It's a leg by. So 58 overs have been bowled so far in this Steths innings.
58 overs.
188. 189. Yeah, one leg by no ball.
Yeah.
189 for 6. Steths in their first innings replying to Manchester's 117 all out. Top scorer so far is
Barrington Sims.
O'Dane Binns, who scored 73. Tariq Brand, the Steths captain, he made 37. These two are the principal contributors to Steths' 189 for 6.
Yeah, Barrington.
So Simpson, 10 overs, 2 for 35. He's replaced Hall, and he will be bowling to Smith with a slip. Mid-off, point. Short delivery, Smith dropping that down in front of him. The man from slip strolled around, picked up. Here's a backward square leg, a man on the mid-wicket boundary. Forward goes Smith. Rolls it back down the pitch to the bowler. There's a man on the long on boundary, long off. Man in the covers. It's just for the batters to find the space because acres of space based on how the field is set for them to get singles or twos. That one is on the legs, and Smith just getting into his wicket and flicking that to backward square leg, and they go through for an easy single. 189 for six, or 190. 190 for six. Still, I'm of the opinion that they need to resurrect the big scoreboard that here it sits on the western side. Another delivery, and Taylor is just going forward, rolling it back to Barrington Simpson. Simpson comes again, getting through his overs quickly. Smith on the back foot, pushing it down the pitch. End of the over. 190 for six. And it's a water break. Some much needed cooling down for the players on the field and also the umpires, because I can tell you, right here in Santa Cruz, the sun is really hot. Clear blue skies.
Oh, I mean, if I calculate.
Yeah.
110 milligram. All right, so after over number 59, Steths, they are 190
When you
for
see some
6,
intro water and it
and
in place.
water break. And first innings lead of 73, Gerald Taylor Jr. on 10, and Jalil Simon on 8. So Steths, 190 for 6 after 59 overs.
But too much sugar for my liking. One.
I want to dismantle.
Okay.
10, 15, 16. Where's score at?
190.
190. Yeah. I'm not so good. So 32, 17, 30. McAfee first bowler. Bowling.
Oh, yeah. Kellan Jones.
Yeah.
30, 32.
Okay, how much you have to market?
Nah, listen.
So there is
17.
yeah, how much you have to Simpson?
12. Well, our sim.
So it's the end of the water break. The umpire is signaling to the scorers that they're ready to resume.
9, 11, 13.
So Kellan Jones will continue the attack from the pavilion end. He has one slip, a square leg, a fine leg,
39.
What buys
backward
it?
point, the gully,
Question, what buys it?
cover, mid off, mid on.
13.
Leg by one.
Here he comes to Smith. Smith is pushing that one into the cover area. Fielder goes around, picks up quite easily, fires a return to the keeper. That's not necessary. It could have gone through him for overthrows, but luckily it didn't happen. Manchester not looking lively in the field today. Jones again. Smith behind that one, just pushing it down in front of him in the short cover area. No run coming from that. So 190 for 6. Jones and Smith is flashing outside the off stump, making no contact. The keeper takes it cleanly. And I can hear the coach bellowing instructions. The coach of Manchester, that is. Still no run from that ball, which thudded into Smith's pads. Four deliveries so far from this Jones over. Comes in again and he bowls to Smith down the leg side for Jay Nelson, the keeper. He stopped it, but not cleanly. But that was good enough because no run came from that. One delivery from Jones. So far, one delivery to go. And so far, no run coming from his over. Will this be a maiden? He has bowled 2 maidens so far in the spells. And that would have been in his first spell of 5 overs. Here he comes now. Short, and the Smith is getting behind that one, pushing it into the extra cover region. No run. End of that. Jones is over. They have so far bowled 12. 12 overs for 32 runs, taking one wicket. It looks like Simpson who will continue. Barrington Simpson. 11 overs, two for 39 so far. Has not bowled a maiden. One slip which is pretty wide to Taylor. Long on, long off, mid on. He has a mid off, cover, backward point, a deep gully. Simpson to Taylor, short, and Taylor just on the front foot, pushing that one into the covers. No run coming from that.
Score out.
190.
Forward goes Taylor again. Encouragement coming from the pavilion for Barrington to keep going. Barrington Simpson from the main road end to bowl to Taylor. Taylor's driving at not timing it well. It just rolled down the pitch back to Simpson. Getting ready now to continue. Smith. That's Taylor. Just dropping it in front of him. No real aggression. Not attempting to score off that delivery. Simpson. And there's an appeal and he's out. He's been given out LBW. That one came back at him
Right on the crease.
and he was playing back. So it trapped him on the stumps. He should have been pushing forward. And that causes demise. He should have been pushing forward with the full face of the bat. Did not happen. And he's on his way back to the pavilion. LBW for
11. Score much have 11? 11 feet?
No,
10?
Well,
What you have for Galley?
checking Taylor's score.
Eh?
yeah.
Okay, so I'm forget.
So it has been confirmed. Jerome Taylor Jr. out LBW bowl Simpson for 10. So the score is now 190 for 7.
So 194-7 as the new batsman, the Norway Scott, paired with Jaya Smith. Smith is on 8. So 194-7.
What the next batsman? Oh.
So Scott is a new batter for Steths. Delante Scott. One left-hander replacing another.
I think I the football a hard time. You know, they have football money.
Forward goes Scott. End of a successful over by Barrington Simpson. And that was a maiden wicket. So far taken 3 for 39.
61.
I mean, yeah. A maiden wicket.
Can't put in that yes, all right. So, you know, so we keep it's like we have to know why and anyways,
So Jones, Kellen Jones, continuing from the pavilion end Ball to Smith. Smith is pushing that one into the covers. Not interested in getting a single. Probably they could have taken a quick single, but the new batter Scott must be a slow runner. Not taking any chances with him. Kellen Jones again to bowl to Smith. Passes the umpire, jumps, he delivers, and Smith is on the back foot, pushing that one into the offside. No run. Can hear the voice of former West Indies pacer Darren Powell encouraging the Steths batters to put some licks on Manchester. He knows about bowling, not batting. Here comes Jones outside the off stump, and Smith is back trying to force that one. Only just being able to get it into the point region. No run. Jones again to Smith. Short. Smith is pushing it into offside and go through for the quick single. Fielder didn't pick up cleanly, and they were able to make it home safely. The left-hander Scott to face. By my watch, an hour and 18 minutes gone in this session, the morning session. Jones to Smith. Forward pushing it into the offside. Picked up by the man at mid-off, who hands it back to Kellen Jones. Jones to continue his job from the pavilion end. Bold and Scott playing forward, missing, not picking up the line. End of another Jones over. Score is 191 for 7. Barrington Simpson to continue. From the main road end, he's going to be bowling to Smith. Here comes short. Smith is just going on the back foot and pushing that one down into the short gully area. The man from slip just moved around, picked up. Backward square leg, mid wicket, mid on, long off. Smith is playing that into the square leg region. They go through for a quick single, and they collected water on the field. They picked up, but he wasn't able to beat the batter, and the coach is saying that he was sleeping on the field. How could anyone sleep in this kind of heat? But I understand what he means. They're not sharp. They're not looking to save a single here and to save a single there.
Baton, Scotty boy, baton!
That one went past the keeper and into the boundary. Let me see what signal will come. It took an edge. The umpire is saying it's runs, 4 runs.
Man, this all look at none of them now. Why propose that I just slip field? I know. I just only go at third.
Scott again to face. Pitched up. Going forward. Pushing it down on the onside. No run. Full delivery almost outside the off stump. Scott wasn't offering a shot. The appeal went up. The umpire answered in the negative. No LBW decision there. Scott again to face Barrington Simpson. Seems like again short delivery outside the off stump. Going away from the left-handed Scott. He held his bat high. Played absolutely no shot. And it's the end of another over from Barrington Simpson. The score is now 196 for 7.
You got no idea.
Jones to continue. 13 overs, 1 for 33. He's going to be bowling his 14th over.
196.
Jones to Smith. Smith is driving that. It's speeding off there to the bat. They go through for quick signal. Return comes in. But he has made his ground. One more to the total. $197. $197. Scott on the back foot, pushing that one back down the pitch. Jones picks up, looks around, indicating to the umpire that he's going to come around the wicket to the left hand of Scott. I'm not sure what kind of field placing they have. There's one slip, but he probably is in a third slip position. Then there's a gully here. Jones now outside the off stump. No shot offered by Scott. Then the keeper takes cleanly by Jay Nelson. There's a point. Cover, extra cover. Mid off. Wide mid on. Backward square leg. A man on the fine leg boundary. Jones to Scott. Down the leg side. Scott is trying to get a bat onto it. He didn't. Went through to the wicketkeeper Nelson. He didn't do a clean job of it, but nevertheless, no bye coming from that. $197 for 7. Outside the off stump goes Jones. Scott raises bat, leaving it alone. Looks like a Courtney Walsh leave alone. Kellen Jones. Round the wicket to Scott. Scott offering no shot. Wide of the off stump. The end of the over. Score remains on 197 for 7 in reply to Manchester's 117 all out. Two umpires are conferring while the Manchester player goes on the field with a helmet. Will they be using it? Oh, the keeper exchanges his cap for a helmet. So is he anticipating that he's going to be getting more turn and bounce from Barrington Simpson? Simpson, 13 overs, 1 foot,
No,
3 for 44, one maiden in all that. Here he comes again. The ball to Smith. Smith pushes that one into the point region. No run coming from that. Simpson to Smith. And Smith is trying to swing that backward of square. Didn't connect. There was an appeal for LBW. Stifled appeal, really. The umpire not troubled. Barrington Simpson pushed into the covers now by Smith.
Hey there, on back, shut up!
One gets the impression that Steths should be seeking to pile on some runs now. Short flashes, it goes over the man in the slip and it's running away into the boundary, gets there now. 4 runs. A fortuitous stroke by Smith. Luckily, the man of slip was too close in. Had he been a meter back, he would have got a hand to it.
Wait a morning, sir.
So we are at 201. 201 for 7.
The time for that man got shot first. In not top man, in not catch him. You know, serves no purpose.
Full toss hit down through wide mid wicket. They go through for 2. No power in that shot from Smith. Probably it's a good thing. Could have gone to the man deep. Fortunately, it didn't. And he lives to fight again. Barrington Simpson. Smith is driving that one through the covers. They go through for 1. They come back for the second. Fielders onto it. Doesn't pick up cleanly. And they are home safely for the second run.
They carry him.
205 now. At the end of the over, Steths 205 for 7.
Alright, so after over number 65, Steths, got 205 for 7.
They're leading by 88 runs.
With a first innings lead of 88 runs. Jalil Simic on 18.
Looks as if they've had a change in bowling from the pavilion end. That looks like Mackenzie, is it? Rashawn Mackenzie. He will be bowling to Delante Scott, the left-hand batter. Scott tapping away, looks up now to see Mackenzie running into him on the leg stump, and is just guiding that down to the fine leg region, and they go through for a single. There was no real power in that shot. He just guided it down there straight to the fielder, but they were able to get a single, pushing up the score to 206 for 7. Mackenzie to Smith. Smith is driving that down to mid off. They go through for a quick single. That's gone through the field. It's chipping away to the boundary. Will it get there before it does? Yes. 4 runs. It was a beautiful shot, but fortunately for Smith, it went through the fielder who didn't get down with his long barrier. It went through him and trickled into the boundary for 4. 210 for 7 Steths. Mackenzie again to bowl to Smith.
Yo. 22.
Short, and Smith is getting behind it, posing for the camera.
210.
Into the covers, no run.
210.
This is a relatively good batting performance by Steths. They've not been batting well, especially in the middle order all season, but they are ex-champions, so they know how to fight. Mackenzie, short delivery, and he's flicking that off his pad into the square leg area. They thought about a single, but the fielder was onto it quite quickly, and that single wasn't possible. Mackenzie again trying to effect a breakthrough. Bowling to Smith, passes the umpire, jumps and he delivers. And Smith is playing that into offside, back away from his body. But probably his hand-eye coordination is good enough to play that kind of shot. No run coming from it anyway. 210 for 7 Steths in reply to Manchester's 117 all out. 2 innings, 3 day. This is day number 2, first session. Mackenzie. Smith is driving that one in the air. It goes over the head of the man at Gully, running onto the boundary. Will they take a 3rd run? They've decided against it. And they've settled for 2. End of that Mackenzie over. Mackenzie has so far bowled 8 overs, taken 1 for 24. One would have thought that he, as their number 1 pace bowler, would have bowled more, but Manchester have resorted to the spinners. So Jones and Mackenzie are the 2 who've been taking the pace bowling to the opposition. Kellen Jones, he bowled 14 overs, and Mackenzie 8. Simpson to start over his 15th over. So far taken 3 for 22 comes to Scott. And Scott is playing that easily into the offside, not seeking to get anything out of that shot. Scott, full toss. Didn't do anything significant with that full toss. One gets the impression that he's there to play the anchor role for Smith. Outside the off stump, goes across and watches it into the hands of the keeper, Padre Nelson. Once again, not playing a shot. Ball cannons into the pad, goes into the point area. Simpson again. Scott is retaking his guard. Simpson dropping that in front of him. No run. Scott shaping to play an aggressive shot, changed his mind as he watched that one outside the off stump. And it's the end of the over from Barrington Simpson. Let me see if Mackenzie is going to continue. Nope, Mackenzie is not going to continue. Ward is back on. Ward has so far bowled 15 overs, and they're saying 2 for 38.
How much extra there?
13 bites. One leg bite.
How much?
1 mil. 1 mil.
Like a 11 dirham with me.
Over here, so I score in both the spectator section.
212, that one is played into the outside across the one. They're coming back for the second. Will they get into the boundary? Will they attempt for third? They've decided against it. Strong throw coming into the wicket keeper from the straight leg boundary. That was a good throw indeed. But I think they could have attempted the third run. But it was the right hander who played that. So it was in the backward point boundary. Here comes Ward. Tossed up, and that is signaled a no ball. That was really about chest high. Could have slipped out of his fingers. Here comes Ward again. Smith. And Smith is driving, not making proper contact, not timing that one. Inside edge sounded as if it came off the pad as well. And trickled out to a short mid-wicket. Man on the long arm boundary. Man on the long off boundary. Ward to Smith. Smith is back and pushing that into the offside. No intention of taking a single. Ward to Smith. Smith is playing that into the covers. They go through for a quick single. And it's come. And that has been completed successfully. The score goes up to 216 for the loss of 7 wickets. Smith is on
216 for 6. 7. For 7.
checking Smith's score to see what he has been doing. I'll soon get his score for you. But it's Ward to bowl to the left-handed Scots. So Smith is on 27. There's an appeal. End of the over. Scott has so far scored 5 runs. He is just to keep one end, as they would say, and allow Smith to attack. Looks like Steths are 99 runs ahead on first innings. There's a change in bowling from the main road end.
Which I feel Dylan takes.
5.
Morgan is coming back. Morgan so far bowled only 2 overs for 13. Nelson is setting the field. One slip, gully point. Backward square leg. A man in the wide mid wicket area. Fine leg on the boundary. There's a cover. Moving the man from the square leg region is going to putting him into the extra cover region. Still have not settled on the field, the placing as yet. So Morgan comes. Smith pushes that one into the extra cover region.
Get back then, Shadow. Get back then, man.
No run coming from that stroke. Morgan, second delivery in his 3rd over of the inning. That is flicked into the square leg area. Smith, it goes through for a single. 217 for 7. The lead is now 100.
So, score 217. 7. That's the first innings each of 100. Score. I blow up over this now. I bury them, fly pan, I bury them. I bury them and they pin them sit down right there, support them get up. So why they not move?
So Morgan now to bowl to the left-handed Scott. Delivery played into the offside. No run coming from that. Morgan coming in again. And is driving outside the off stump. It looked as if that one went into the gully region to hand. Yes, indication by the fielder that it went to hand and he put it down.
Get one in wicket.
218. The lead is now 101. Smith pushing that one into the offside and they can't get a single. The pitch seemed to be playing quite easily. No devils. Smith flicking that into the square leg area. They go to for a quick single. Two. A lead of 102 now.
After over number 68, Steths, 219 7, with the first innings lead of
Ward is back on.
Yo.
What is that you think?
One just, you know. 102. Yeah, people not even blame Scott. People blame
What again? Second delivering this over, pitching it up, and it's driven by Smith through the covers. It's racing out to the boundary. Will it get there? It does. It does. It does. 4 runs. Looked to me as if it touched the boundary.
Go play that. Go play that.
That was played by Smith.
Jolly. Three.
That was
A two cover and he go.
Oh,
Jalil.
a 2 run run.
I think 3.
Three, cause
They got 3 for it. Smith played the shot.
Oh man.
So it's down to Scott, who is just holding down and then not seeming to play any stroke in aggression. Ward to Scott, and Scott is going back and playing and missing. He would be best to serve to go on the front foot because Ward has the googly. Scott driving that one down on the outside, going through for a quick single.
Get that partnership going, Scotty!
Scott and Smith. What will this partnership bring? It's water break again.
Over there.
If there's one delivery to go, why would they take the water break?
200 and 100 and
Two, right, let me see. The score is
106.
223.
106.
Yes.
Where's that? Yeah, man. 106.
The lead is 106 at the water break.
All right, so 69.5 overs. Steths 223 for 7 with a first innings lead of 106. So 223 for 7 with the first innings lead of 106.
Yeah, that's it. They were like, I'm saying about this is the box. 32. Send them over and now you know come up and feel you have to walk over your bus of the Lord. By the come back. 10 or 15 minutes for that time gone already.
Giant Simic on turn 2. And Delonte Scott on 7. 69.5 overs. Steths 223 for 7 with a first innings lead of 106.
So they're going to be continuing after the water break. Ward will continue his bowling from the pavilion end, and he will be bowling to Smith. Smith is on 33. Ward Tossing up, Smith is coming forward, driving at and missing. The wicket keeper is appealing for a stumping, but Ward is firmly anchored in his ground. So it's the end of the over. That delivery was the one that was left just before the water break. And Delante Scott will be facing. Morgan will continue from the main road end.
Graf! You can't turn around there, you have to hold a base. Keep it up, you have to hold a base.
Morgan misses his run. He goes back to his bowling mark. Scott now is preparing to take strike. Here comes Morgan. Scott is leaving that one outside the off stump. Not taking any chances, not playing anything that he doesn't have to play. He's probably hoping that he can stay there with Smith to give Steths a bigger lead. Easily pushing that one into the covers.
And done. One of the ONS son there run through them later on.
Roger Nelson not collecting cleanlies. He flashes the glove off the left hand, probably got stung on the fingertips by that delivery from Morgan because he didn't take it cleanly. Morgan again to bowl to Scott. Scott sliding that one into the outside of the face of the bat. Thought about a single, but it would have been dangerous to take it. So they reconsidered and remained in their respective crease. Outside the off stump, that delivery. Scott just shouldering arms and allowing it to go through the keeper, Bajay Nelson. So Nelson is up under the stumps, hoping that he can effect a stumping. If anything flies off the edge of the bat, I'm not sure he'll be able to take it though. Again, Scott is on top of that one, pushing it. Square the wicket on the offside. No run coming. It's the end of another over.
$71 over that. Eh? Same thing, yeah. 70? Awesome. Just for bowling 70.
So Ward again, he has a long on, a long off. Two slip. No, it's a slip. Pushing up, and Smith is going back and playing that one into the covers.
Who is that? Tesfa? Tesfa, you know?
I want a 200 run lead by 1 turn.
Okay.
Okay, with the generation, the boys coming.
Ward to Scott. Scott is just pushing the right leg out there and offering absolutely no shot. He doesn't seem to want to score off anything that is not within his arc. He's not taking any chances, not playing flashily. Here comes Ward again. And Scott is just pushing it back down the pitch. Octopus Scott is driving that one, peeling off the outside of the bat, and it goes into the offside. And he's able to get a single. Ward to Smith, short and outside the off stump, and is trying to get that away. Couldn't beat the fielder in this case. Ward to Smith. Smith is driving that one into the wide mid-on area. Can't get it past the field, and it's the end of another over. Score is 225. 225 for 7. Lead looks like about 108.
So at the end of over number 72, score is Steths 225 7 with a first innings lead of 108.
Morgan again to the left-hander Scott. Scott is trying to get back to that one, wasn't able to do so. It cannoned into his pad. The appeal went up, but the umpire never gave them anything positive. So Morgan has to go and try again. Morgan. Scott is just firmly behind that one, pushing it out into the offside.
225 is 725. You hear that?
So Morgan getting ready to Ball to Scott. Morgan is coming in from the main road end. Misses his run. I'm not sure why, but he has to go back. Here he comes again. The ball to Scott. Scott is forward, pushing it into the covers. Not interested in playing in any aggressive shots. Is Scott. He's intent on keeping one end and allow the hitting or the striking to Smith. But I am thinking if he gets a delivery that he believes he can put away, he will certainly have a go at it. Once again, pushing it back down to the bowler. Walks away at the end of another over. Steths, they are 225 to 7. "22 minutes by my watch until lunchtime." When the ball steps to the dealing selector, because they're not picking out when you're ready to Ward again. Long off, long on. Mid off. One slip. Short mid wicket. Ward comes again to Smith. And is getting an edge to that one. It past the keeper, past the slip, but they weren't able to get it far enough to get a single.
Get back in, get back in. Shut up.
Ward again. Full toss and is hitting that past the bowler. The man at mid on is coming around. They go for the second. Somebody's going to be out, run out. And Scott very slow off the mark. There never was two in that. Never was two in that. The fielder long off came around quite quickly, picked it up, and he was way out of his ground, miles out, so to speak.
Yes. Yeah.
Scott run out for 8.
What Jolly then? 34.
Yeah. Jalen Smith is there, still on. He's on 37. So the 8th wicket down for Steths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the incoming batter is Adrian Silvera.
Adrian Sylvia.
What you say after something, Johnny? What you have for Johnny?
34.
34. I make get one liquor oil now.
Yeah, 34.
Man, Silvia, get a good start. Yes, I have to continue. Around 17, so I'm
With to Smith and he launches that in the air. The fielder is coming around. Will he be able to take it? He floors it. And they'll get two. Unbelievable. Real easy catch for him to take. Smith now deciding that he's going to have a go.
How much drop is that with more?
That should have been taken by the Manchester fielder.
228. 36.
Sometimes they put on the easiest of chances and then they take the difficult ones. Score goes up to 228 for 8. Ward to Smith. And Smith is playing and missing outside the off stump. Ward holds his head. He cannot understand how that did not hit the off stump. Ward again to Smith. Smith is offering no shot, but one is outside the off stump. The leg break going away from the right-hander. He allowed the keeper to clean that one up. Ward again. Smith is driving that into the offside. They go through for a quick single. There's a chance for a run out, but Silvera is home. End of the over. That was a very quick single indeed, hoping to get Smith back on strike, and they did. So it's 229 for 8.
Much over 70.
The lead is 112.
Yeah.
Score?
Huh? Oh, 229.
End of the 74th over?
Yes.
End of the 74th over, Mr.
Yes.
Alright, so at the end of over 74, score is 229 for 8, with a first innings lead of 112.
14, 22, 39, 44, 55, 71.
No run on that delivery. Smith just playing it down into the point area.
Right.
Decided against a single.
14, 22, 24, 39.
Morgan again, that comes off the edge, and they should get a single. Yes, they do.
Leg by.
Oh, it's a leg by. I thought I heard two sounds.
74.
So the left-handed Silvera to face Silvera is a medium pace bowler for Steths. I do not know if he has any claim to being a solid batter, but we shall see what we shall see. The lead is 109, so let us see what he does. Playing and missing outside the off stump. Padre Nelson, the keeper for Manchester, collects.
Get a good start, man.
Morgan again to Silvera. And he's playing that early into the leg side. They've been advised by the crowd to just let it stay at 1 because it would have been dangerous to go for number 2. Because the return was good. Certainly one of them would have been run out. But they decided against the second one. 231 for 8. Forward goes pushing it back down the pitch to the bowler.
Whole season you have to say not even more 5 over. Drop off, back. No improvement, no improvement. Lazy. Come on, you see on the field. Lazy.
Smith easily pushing that final delivery of Morgan's over into the offside. And they did not attempt a single. So it's the end of that over. And it looks like Ward is going to continue from the pavilion end.
Yeah. 231. 231.
Yes, sir. So after check. So
Ward is going around the wicket to the left-handed Silvera.
oh, Barry. You know, let me leave this up now.
Ward to Silvera. Silvera just coming forward, pushing it into the offside, posing for the camera.
Anyone know? Once we have this up. Yeah, man.
On 14.
Declare now. Declare. Declare, man. Declare. Yeah, mode. Declare. No, man. You sound like you're a coach.
Silvera trying to work that one into the leg side. No contact. Came off the pad. Runs into the offside. Picked up by the fielder. He tosses it back to Wade. Wade comes again. Ball to Silvera. And he's driving that one down the ground. They go through for the single.
Good single that.
End of the over. So Silvera will have to face Morgan
What you
now.
have, sir?
76. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Let me check them. 14, 15, 16, 17.
Yep. Yeah, they are 2. Johnny, they are 37.
76 over, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't know anything. Nice one.
So Morgan will bowl his. He will start his 7th over and he will bowl into Silvera. Here he comes. Short delivery. Silvera is trying to swing that one to leg. Not sure whether he got any contact. No, he didn't. The umpire is signaling a bye. Score goes up to 233 for 8.
Manage. Then gone 233 for 7.
8.
For 8, sorry.
I'm not sure what kind of shot that Smith played, but apparently he got an edge. The umpire confirms, and Smith is on his way now to the pavilion, caught at the wicket of the bowling of Morgan for 37. 37. And the final batter is another Bins. That's Dimitri Bins. $233 for 9. Dimitri Bins is the next batter.
Dimitri Bins.
By my watch, it's 6 minutes to lunchtime. Final wicket. Okay. So if lunchtime comes and this 10th wicket isn't down, they will have to play another 30 minutes.
That's in the match, man. That's in the match.
Question is, will these two batters at the crease last? There's an appeal and Dimitri is out LBW. So the Steths innings come to a close at 233. 233 all out. I suspected that he would not have lasted the 6 minutes to lunchtime, much more the 30 minutes that would have been played had lunchtime come before the fall of this wicket.
We have him. We have him. In man, we're not talking.
Yeah.
15, 16? 116.
Yo.
So Steths, they have 116 runs lead. They will come back after lunch to see how much they can get Manchester out for. If Manchester can't make the 116, then Steths would have won by 10 wickets and would have regained the Costa Cup.
233.
Sorry, the Headley Cup. I'm thinking of football season already.
233.
233 all out. So the lead is 116. Manchester will have to get that 116 and gives up instead something now to chase. They made 117 in their first inning, but I do believe that they're going to be making more than that based on how I see the pitch playing. But it's left to be seen.
All right, so lunch break as we will close this live and reopen a new live for the after lunch session. So thank you for watching. So final score, Steths 233 all out with a first innings lead of 116. So stay with us as we will break this live and come back to you after lunch.
Buys, I'm gonna buy.
14.
Also, what's about this morning? 44 and 77. Yeah, man. You know, this is a big 33. Yeah, I know. Yeah, sorry. Yes. Score. What is it, 116?
Yes, sir.
116. Yeah. Sorry, so I'm going to leave 116. The back one. I'm about 260. Let's make 260. 233.